record right now.
This meeting is
welcome everybody to our March, sorry, did I interrupt? Welcome to our March first Monday Zoom. We're really glad that you are here joining us, or for anybody who's watching the recording, thanks for taking the time to do this to grow your business. Tonight we have a special guest speaker. I'm super excited, but I'm going to let Kaylin introduce her. Before that, just know we'll have a couple announcements at the end tonight, and we will have a door prize, so stick around. And I may mute everybody. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kaylin, you'll have to unmute, and then Jeanette, you'll have to re-unmute too.
Hey guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. It is my honor and privilege to present to you my friend, Jeannette Dixon. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Jeannette before I let her take it away. So Jeannette and I actually met in a leadership. It was actually the very first accelerated leadership program that corporate office did. And we were in the inaugural program together. And there were 7 of us that just hit it off, and we just kind of stuck together after it was all over with. And sorry to say, it's dwindled down to 3 of us. We originally called ourselves the Super 7. We are now the O Girls because Jeanette's from Ohio, Terry's in Oregon, and I'm in Oklahoma. Jeannette has been with Cincy for 11 years. She is a star director. She has earned, we're not real sure how many incentive trips. We lost count at 8.
I know, problems, right? What a horrible problem to have.
I know, we tend to do that when we've earned so many, and you guys are going to earn them too eventually. She has earned annual sales 5 years in a row, and she will probably agree with me when I tell you that her most what's the word I'm looking for, her best accomplishments are her 2 beautiful kiddos. She has 2 of the cutest kiddos that love to talk to us on Marco Polo. And if you don't know it, her daughter Julia is being shown on Cincy's Instagram with the Cinderella. Is she got the carriage?
She has the ball. Well, they asked for pictures. They asked for all the pictures, but the one that they had on there was of her holding a bar, the Cinderella bar, in her Cinderella costume.
Yeah,
she's 5.
So she has the cutest kiddos. But anyway, Jeannette is a great inspiration to me. We are great friends. And when we say that Cincy is more than warmers and wax, it truly is. I can assure you that if I ever quit Cincy, Jeannette and I would continue to be friends. And she brings a lot of.
She's not, by the way, because I wouldn't allow it.
No, she won't allow me. So anyway, I'm going to let her talk now. She's going to talk to you guys about recruiting, and she has a lot of great information. So get those pens and papers ready. Take it away, girlfriend.
Thanks, friend. Okay, so I don't even know what to say after that. Like, I get so weird about, like, I don't know, like, it's hard to, like, look at your accomplishments and be like, oh, that's me. But it's, Cincy just gives, like Kaylin said, we're more than wax and warmers. Like, I couldn't, like, say it more, like, because we're so much more than wax and warmers. You know, we're friends. You can talk about our products all day, but ultimately, like, this is real life. Like, we're doing life, and Cincy's a part of that. So yeah, Kaylin kind of told you a little bit about me. I am in Ohio, so I'm an O girl too. I know most of you are probably in Oklahoma, but yay for the O girls. But I'm a little bit east of Columbus, so that's right smack dab in the center of the state. Like Kaylin said, I joined 11 years ago, and let me tell you, when I joined, the only option was a $99 kit. And so I know that I'm on here to talk to you tonight about the join kit, and we have a join special. And I want you to know how powerful that is. We have so many join options now. And you guys, we didn't have that when I joined. And when I joined, let me tell you, money was tight for me. I didn't have any kids yet, but for my husband and I, money was super tight. And it was about to get tighter. Because not only was it tight, but 24 hours after I joined, I found out that I was teaching at the Ohio State University And I found out that the department that I was teaching in was closing. They were eliminating that department and I wasn't going to have a job the day after I joined. And so money was already tight. And now it was like, holy crap, what am I going to do? Right? My kit came and I just kind of looked at it and I was like, I don't even care about that right now. I just lost my job. Like, because I couldn't see it. Like, I couldn't see like what this was going to do for me. And so I missed Shooting Star. Like, I missed all of it because I was just being like in my pity party. Right. And then I decided to open it and I was like, okay, all I really care about right now is getting my $100 back, right? Because $99, it was a lot, but now it was really a lot, right? And so I was just like, I have to sell $500 as quick as I can because I have to make my $100 back. And my first month, I sold $1,200. And so I was like, okay, like maybe there's something special about this. So you guys, I tell that because your story is special, no matter what it is. You might not think it's special, but I promise you, it will speak to people. And so when we're talking about recruiting, whether it's a $99 kit, a $25 kit, a flip a host, no matter what it is, when you're authentically you, it means something to people. Okay, so I know Kaylin told you to get your piece of paper and your pen, and I know it's only the 7th of the month, but I want you to humor me while I talk for just a little bit. And I want you to write down the first name, just the first name of everybody that you have asked to join Scentsy in the last 7 days. Okay. You can't say I posted on Facebook. That's not allowed. So everybody that you actually asked to just write their first name on your piece of paper. I don't need to see it. Amy doesn't need to see it. Nobody needs to see it. I just want you to write the first name of anybody that you actually asked since the $25 join special started. Okay. So while you're doing that, I want to tell you a little story about something that happened just over the last week. I was talking to one of my downline and she was telling me, I really want to do this business and, I want to be a leader and I want to grow my team and just all of these things. And she's been around for a while, like say at least 8 years, so a while, and that's okay. It's never too late, right? And so I pulled up her numbers. I pulled up her year over year. I was kind of looking at, what she's done, and I was familiar with what she'd done. She's a frontline of mine, and I was kind of talking to my husband about it, who is a very quiet part of my business. He would be the most quiet guy in the room. Like he's super funny, but he's very laid back. And so he's like, well, what are her numbers? And because he's very analytical. And so I'm like showing him and he said, well, you need to tell her. And I wrote it down because it was such a good quote. And he said, you need to tell her if she wants to be a leader, she has to start by being a consultant. Okay. And I tell you that for a couple reasons. And when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh. And I was about ready to have a coaching call with home office. And I was like, I have to write this down before Marlo calls me because it was so good. And I didn't want to forget it because it's true. Okay. No matter where you're at, if you just started today or you started, 11 years ago, like me, in order to be a leader, you have to be a consultant first, or it just gets really hard. Okay. So you have to make sure that you're doing your 200 PRV and not every 4 months, like every month, because if you don't, you're actually making it harder on yourself. You're making it harder to get sales. You're making it harder to build clientele. You're making it harder to recruit. Okay. Because you're not in front of people. Okay. So you have to be in front of people in order to grow this business. Okay. So if you struggle with 200 PRV, start with making that your goal every single month. Because if you're focused and you're committed on 200 PRV every month, you're going to find that 200 PRV turns into 400 PRV. Now you're doing 400 PRV every month and you're like, okay, I get it, right? Now you're doing 400 PRV every single month. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're doing like 1,000 PRV every single month. And now you're getting a recruit and another recruit and another recruit. And it just happens because you're focused. You have to be a consultant. Okay. You have to show up as a consultant, or it's going to be really hard to grow. Okay. So I asked you to write down the names of those people. Now I'm going to ask some questions and you don't have to answer. Just answer it in your head. Are there 0 names on your list? Is there 1 name on your list? Did somebody tell you no? Is there 10 names on your list? Whatever your list looks like, there has to be names on your list every single month. And I'm telling you, there's power in a piece of paper. Okay. So if you don't have names on your list, it's going to be really hard to grow. Okay. So every month, just have this piece of paper. I want you to keep this piece of paper this month. Keep writing names on it. Okay. Because you're probably not asking people as much as you think that you are. And when you hold yourself accountable with this piece of paper, you're going to see how much you're really asking. And at the end of the month, if there's less than 10 names, and I'm not just talking this month, I'm talking any month. If there's less than 10 names on this sheet of paper, that's probably why you're not recruiting. Okay, so this is like what not to do. Okay, like don't ask. Keep that nice, pretty blank piece of paper, but it's going to be really hard for you to grow. Okay, yeah, this isn't a list of 100. This is a list of who you ask. Okay, so we're 1 week in, and if you have a blank slate, that's okay. There's nothing necessarily wrong with a blank slate. It's what you do with your blank slate. Okay, so if it's blank, commit to yourself, to give yourself a number. It should be at least 10. Okay, because if you don't have names on here, I mean, I won't lie, in 11 years, sure, I've had a person here and there go to my website and randomly pick me to join under, but you cannot rely on that. It is not going to sustain you. You can't rely on a Facebook post alone. I'm not telling you not to do social media, okay? But you can't rely on one Facebook post to generate interest. They're thinking about it, they're seeing it, but now you have to follow up. You have to like contact them and say, hey, I was thinking about you. Would you like to join? And then they're going to think to themselves, oh gosh, darn it, I saw that post and I was thinking about it. And now she put me on the spot. Like maybe this is a sign that I should do this. They're not going to say yes if you don't ask. So this paper has to be full every single month, not just the join months. Okay. And I know what you're saying. Oh, Jeannette, I don't know that many people. I've heard all these. I've heard them all. And I'm telling you, you do. And if you really want to say I don't, then it's time to meet people. Okay. The best way to do that is hosting parties, fundraisers. I mean, even guys, even online parties. So here's a little fun fact about me. I have, Kayla knows this, we've talked about it, a severe immune deficiency. Severe. Like, not to sound dramatic, but strep throat could kill this girl. Like, severe. So the last 2 years, I have literally not left my house unless I've like had to go to like a doctor's appointment. Literally haven't left my house. My daughter has an immune deficiency as well. That's partly why we homeschool. Didn't expect to be a homeschool mom, but here I am rocking it out for the second year. And I'm telling you that because my business has still grown in the last 2 years because I've made a commitment to make sure my blank slate had something on it, to make sure that I was still doing everything that I needed to do in a virtual world, if that's what it had to be. Okay. And so you can do it. Okay. But you need to ask. Okay. So if you want to be a leader, you have to start being a consultant. Quotes by I like to say Joe Dixon. Because it inspired me, right? I mean, I thought it even for myself, like 11 years in, like if I want to be a leader, I have to be a consultant. You know, your downline's going to look up to you. Okay. they're going to say, I want to grow. And you're modeling it, right? You're at the front of the pack. You're showing them how it's done. And so being a leader is first being a consultant. So does anybody want to chime in with like a question before I keep going? Seeing all these beautiful faces. Okay. All right. So if anybody wants to interrupt, you can interrupt, but I'll keep going. Okay. So the next step is asking everybody. Okay. You will get told no. You just will. Okay. If somebody tells you no, I need you to know it's not a rejection of you. It's not a rejection of Scentsy. You know, they're just saying no. It's okay. It's totally okay to say no. You have to keep going. Okay. Don't let that no bring you down. Okay. Because here's the thing. Every time somebody tells you no, that's one little check mark that you can say, I'm building the habit. I'm building the habit. Nope. Okay. But I'm building the habit. You're building the habit of asking. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for this $100 order. I can't believe that you love Scentsy that much, that you would buy that much from me. Can I tell you how much the commission is? Do you want that money? Because I don't want your money. I want you to keep your money. Would you like to join my team and keep that commission for yourself? I don't really need it. Would you like to keep it? That's a great conversation starter. And if they say no, okay, congratulations, it's your commission. If they say yes, holy moly, congratulations, you just got a team member because you asked. Okay, just get in a habit. Every no that you get, if you want to, get another piece of paper and check it off. Nope, I heard a no. And look at all of those check marks at the end of the month. And then you know, like every single check mark stands for you building a habit. You building a habit of asking. And that's great. And one day you're going to get a yes, and then you're going to get another one, and then you're going to get another one, because you're making it a habit of asking. You know, it's so exciting to like, I'll tell you straight up, at the end of February, one of my best customers sent me an order. She's like, I'm having surgery and I just want to make sure all of my Scentsy stash is like ready to go because I'm going to be out of commission for like 2 to 3 months. And I was like, okay. She placed a $350 order. Okay. No desire of signing, but I asked her anyways, right? Because she might say yes one of these days, right? I was in the business for almost 7 years before my best friend finally said yes to me. Okay. But sometimes people have to see it, right? Sometimes you just have to keep asking. You know, if somebody places an order from you today and then they turn around and place another one next week, are you going to ask them again? Maybe not. But that's what's so great about this list, because you can put on there, you know, I asked Jenny on this day, this was her response. Don't throw this away at the end of every month. Have a nice little folder, and every month put this in your folder, revisit it. Okay, go back to it and say, oh yeah, well, I did ask Jenny 6 months ago. Maybe she'll want to do it now, right? Ask her if she's ready yet. If she says no, who cares? You made a habit and you went back and you followed up. Follow up isn't just for sales. Follow up is also for recruiting. Okay. And like I said, the more that you're working the business, the more you will recruit. You know, if I go back and I pull up my entire downline and I look and I see who's recruiting, there's 2 main groups of people that are recruiting on my team. And it's consistent for me anyways. Maybe Amy or Kaylin or any other directors on here might disagree, but for me, I look at the 2 groups of people that are recruiting on my team. The first group is the newbies, because they're excited. They want to do this business. They're like, oh yeah, let's do this. And they're out there and they're selling and they're recruiting. Okay, that's the first group. The second group of people that are recruiting are always the ones that have 1,000 PRV or more consistently. That's how I see it in my downline. And I see like a direct correlation by people that are selling and people are recruiting. Why is that? Because they're putting themselves in front of people. Okay, they're constantly, like, they're doing parties, even if it's just one a month, right? They're putting themselves in situations where they're getting sales. So therefore, people are watching them. They're seeing how enthusiastic they are. They're seeing them get incentives and just all of the things, right? They're sharing what their paychecks are doing for them. And then they're turning around and they're sponsoring. That's the two groups of people that I see the most recruiting. It was really interesting to me. I started looking at that like 2 years ago because I was like, I want to see what the trends are here. And those are my trends. And those have consistently been my trends for a while. So start with that 200 PRV. Okay. Don't be scared by it. Break it up. If 200 PRV is hard for you, do $50 every week, or like 2 6-packs every single week. Okay. You'll have 200 by the end of the month. Do that for, 3 or 4 months and, make it a little harder on yourself. Say, I want to double that now. I want to do 100 a week, and then work your way up. As you go, ask people to join you. Okay. Keep that list full, because I promise if this isn't full, your team size is not going to be full. I have another example. Part of the reason I came up with this whole keep a list thing is because one of my girls was like, when she was like my top recruiter for a while, and then it just kind of stopped. And I was like, so what's going on? Like, what do you think is happening? And she's like, I don't know. I'm asking people. And I said, well, when was the last time you asked somebody? And she goes, oh, well, I asked my neighbor. And I said, well, when was that? And she goes, like 4 months ago. That's why you're not recruiting. She's like, but I'm posting it. And I'm like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Facebook algorithms will prevent people from seeing posts. And not just that, but you're not putting them on the spot. That's why the booking blitz is so important that we're all doing company-wide in 2 days. That's why that's so important, because when you call somebody and say, hey, will you host a party for me? They don't want to say no to your face. Like, they don't want to say no to your face. So they say, oh, okay, yeah, let's do a party, right? And so they say yes because you put them on the spot. So it's kind of the same thing with recruiting. If you tell somebody like, hey, you're in customer service, you work with people every day, you're always smiling and you're so happy and you love what you do and people are just drawn to you, you're so charismatic. Like, you compliment people like that and you tell them, I think you'd be great for this. They're gonna think about it a lot more than a Facebook post, because you narrowed in on them, who they are, and you just grabbed a hold of it. And they're thinking about it. Even if they told you no, they're thinking about it. Okay. And then you can come back to them and you can be like, hey, we have a joint special. I know I talked to you about this before, and I know you told me no, but your name just keeps coming to the top of my list because I just think you'd be so great. So that they tell you no again. But you're complimenting them. Like, you are really telling them that there's something special. And they are thinking. I promise you they're thinking. So keep this list. Okay? Keep it strong. No less than 10 people a month. And if you commit to that, you will get yeses. Okay? So if you're committed to the PRV, start out at 200 every single month so that you're getting in front of people. Okay? And I know, guys, one of the number one things that I hear is my people are tapped out. That's why I can't get sales this month. My people are tapped out. They ordered last month. They're tapped out. Then you have to grow. Like, then you're not putting yourself in front of enough people. That's why you're not getting the sales, and that's why you're not getting the recruits, right? So schedule the Facebook bingo parties, or schedule a home party, or schedule a fundraiser, whatever works for you, whatever works with your lifestyle. Since it's supposed to be fun, right? I mean, it's work, sure, but it's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to fit in to all the other craziness, right? So let it work for you. I keep holding this up. Maybe I just want to hide behind it sometimes. But I want you to know that it's so powerful. When I told that girl, when did you ask them? And she said, I don't know, like 4 months ago. Like, I mean, it was just like an aha moment for her and for me. Like, well, no wonder I'm not recruiting. I'm not asking. And when you have a visual of how you're asking, who you're asking, what your trends are, what your personal trends are, like, I'd be willing to bet that you're probably not asking as much as you should. So look at your list again, and you don't have to answer, but just think to yourself, is that okay with me? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Okay, only you can decide that, right? But my experience has been, if there's less than 10, you will really struggle because people will say no. Okay. All right. I think that's all I've got, unless I see a hand. Okay, please ask.
Okay, this is Denise, and I promised her I wasn't going to make her talk, Valerie. So I'm going to tell this story. This story, it's like you called me today to tell this story that is right on what you're talking about.
Okay, good. Well, good. That's great. Then we're getting somewhere.
And so this is truth. And we always hear these stories and we say it's not true. That's somebody else. Well, that somebody else is sitting right there named Valerie. Okay, she bought Scentsy. We figured at least 15 years, has been buying Scentsy for over 15 years. And she had just a nice way about her that whenever she would get somebody that was interested, she'd give the referral to her consultant. And she said, here's a girl that wants Scentsy. Here's a girl that wants Scentsy. Here's a girl that she's done this for 15 years, y'all. And I met her. She found me on she asked on a group in her neighborhood, and they said, call Denise, and we connected. And this past December, she kept giving me all these names around Christmas. Here, call her, call her, call her, call her. And I was like, what?
Well, she's just giving you a paycheck.
And I was calling all these people, and they were ordering. And so finally I said, Valerie, I can't do this anymore. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't ask her when we first met. Okay, shame on me. But I asked her, I said, I can't, and I meant it. I can't keep taking these referrals. I mean, I'm taking your money. You have got to do this. And I knew somebody's asked her that 10 times, right? I was the only person, right, Valerie, that had ever asked you. And y'all hear this, ever in 15 years, nobody had asked her. And I mean, those stories, we hear them, said they're unbelievable. It is true. And she's a rock star, and she knows. And at first, remember y'all me coming on here and saying she only likes washer whiffs? I'm going to have to really get her, turn the corner with her to like something else besides washer whiffs. Well, now she loves it all. She went to an event yesterday, sold 2 stargazers. She's had her diffuser out there, sold them, bang, bang, bang. She loves everything. But seriously, it's true. It's true. There's people sitting that we've sold to that we've never asked.
I was never asked. I was at 3 different parties, 3 different hostesses. And the third one, I was telling people what scents to pick out.
Yeah.
I bought my second order before my first order came in.
Especially if people are giving you referrals. If people are giving you referrals, duh.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's a fun story. I didn't tell you this part of my why, because I could just extend my why or my join experience for so long. My first Scentsy product was my join kit. I'd never tried Scentsy before my join kit. Somebody that I worked with said to me, Jeannette, you have the personality for this. Like, you would do so great with this. You have to talk to my friend who does this. I'd never done direct sales, you guys, but I had made the comment that I had just graduated with my second college degree, and I was bored. Like, I didn't have anything to do. I wanted something to do because I was so used to like writing papers or reading a story, you know, whatever, reading books. And so I was like, I'm just bored. I wish I had something fun to do. And she's like, oh my gosh, you gotta talk to my friend. And I'm just like, why? And she told me, and literally my first experience with Scentsy was the join kit. I was one of those people that somebody just said to me, hey, you've got a personality for this. Like, I was a stranger, essentially, right? Like, you can talk to strangers, you guys. You can just talk to the girl at the drive-through or the barista making your coffee or whatever, and just say, hey, you have a personality for this. Have you ever thought about it? And again, they might say no, but you dropped the seed. Give them a packet of goodies, man. Ask them for their information. Don't give them anything without getting their stuff back. Don't leave the ball in their court. They won't shoot a basket. I promise. There is no 3-pointer coming from them if you leave the ball in their court. You have got to take control of it and get their information. So you said, Denise, you said something that I wrote down. You said, shame on me. No shame on you. We're all learning, okay? And the thing is you took that shame on me moment and you turned it into a learning experience. And that's what Scentsy is about. We don't have to be perfect, okay? I'm 11 years in, man. I'm still learning stuff, okay? That's why you don't wait to recruit. You know, I tell all my new people, like, don't wait to recruit, learn together. It's like going to the gym, hold each other accountable, right? Like have that accountability buddy. Like, don't wait. And, you know, when you were talking, Denise, about like too many, you know, people say there's too many consultants. How's there too many consultants when we can't even ask Valerie over here that's been buying for 15 years to join? Like, how can there be too many consultants if we're so afraid to even ask people to join? Okay, like if you're not asking people to join, you're really missing out on a huge chunk of your job. Okay, you're missing out on a huge chunk of your paycheck, because any leader on here would tell you that leadership bonuses like bring on the waterworks every month. Okay, like it's life-changing. Okay, and you might not see it with one recruit, you might not even see it with 5, but if you keep going, you will see it. And not only for you, but for them too. Like, you're changing lives, you know. And sometimes it's a humbling experience to think about. My superstar director has said this to me before. She's like, Jeannette, you have hundreds of people under you. Do you know how many people's lives you've changed? Like, do you know how many people have gone on incentive trips because you asked them to join, or you asked their sponsor to join and then taught their sponsor to ask them? Like, I mean, it gives me like chills, you guys. Like, I'm not saying it to be like cheesy or anything, but like, you hear these stories of people whose lives have literally changed, you know. And I can give you story after story. I can tell you about a girl, we'll call her Jay, on my team. And she is a very heavy girl. And she told me once that nobody would hire her because they'd take one look at her and think that she was lazy. And in Scentsy, she's found a community of people that love her, no matter what she looks like. You guys, that's special. Like, we have something so special. Like, we should not want to hoard that to ourselves.
I was just going to say, I think sometimes we talk ourselves out of it because we get so nervous about what they're going to think of us. Like, oh, they're going to think I'm pushy or whatever. Scentsy is different than other MLMs because we're not cold calling people. I'm not messaging people that are a friend of a friend on Facebook. We're saying, when you are talking to someone at the grocery store, or when you have a Scentsy party, if the host doesn't want the kit, then you offer it to a guest. Or, you know, we are saying, talk to the people that you come in contact with. And one thing I was thinking as you guys were talking was, and I haven't done this in a while, but I think sometimes when we're not intentional, we don't have our list up to date, or we're not thinking about making that list of names and talking to people all the time. And I think that if we also were to like make a list of the things that Scentsy is for us, what it does for us, because if you've been in it a while, we sometimes forget we're getting that paycheck every month. And sometimes I forget, oh, this pays for this pays for this. This emotionally gives me this, you know, like all the things that it does for me. And then maybe turn around and like think about all our team members and things that we've heard. What are the things it can be? And then you feel really great and excited about offering it to other people.
You know, the funny thing is, ladies, Denise didn't. I've had before her probably 2 other consultants. Nobody ever asked. I love Scentsy. This wasn't a hard thing for me because I like the products. And yep, Denise, right? I was the white tea and cactus girl. I got my closet filled with it. And when I say filled, it's filled. and I like it. And like I was telling her, this kind of sell itself. I'm really not, and I hate to say this, and I know y'all gonna get me, but I'm really not trying. It's just,
I'm not gonna get you, because
I'm
when you love
saying.
something and you're passionate about it and you put it out there consistently,
Yeah.
People are drawn to the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
Kaylin and I were just talking about this today, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember. Anyways, it was recently. Amy, it kind of goes along with, you know, people don't understand, you know, there are direct sales companies that say you have to make this much money before we'll give you a paycheck. No joke. I'm serious.
Yeah.
There are direct sales companies that say, oh, well, you got to spend like $10,000 in stock. There are. People have really weird experiences with direct sales companies, okay? And just like Amy said, we're special. We are different. And so, you know, I'm really mindful to tell people, you know, like, we give you a paycheck on all your sales, no minimum. Like, we do not make you buy stock. Actually, we tell you not to. Like, you know, I always get this quote wrong. So maybe somebody that's been around for a while can tell it the right way. But Orville always says, you don't spend family money on Cincy, you spend Cincy on family money. Family, isn't that how I said it? That's right, right? And it's true. Like, you have to spend Cincy on family. It's designed that way. But people have really bad thoughts about direct sales. And so we have to bust those misconceptions with people. You know, even your spouses, you know, your family. I know my husband, he's permanent work from home now because of COVID, but when he was going into the office and our son, our firstborn, was really, really little and I was still teaching, he would go to work. After I was done teaching and I was able to stay home, he would go to work and he would tell people, you know, I don't have to worry about my kid being in daycare. Like, you know, I mean, to each their own, right? But my husband would go to work and he'd be like, yeah, he's with my wife. And I don't have to worry about, you know, the daycare calling me that he's sick, come get him. Or, you know, and me missing work. I don't have to worry about, you know, who has them, what's their background, how are they treating him, you know, because he was a baby, right? And he's like, and he would go to work and he would tell people that, like, I don't have to worry about that, right? Like planting little seeds everywhere. Because he's even gotten me recruits. Like, he's come home like, hey, I need a join packet for some girl at work. And I'm just like, I don't even know who she is, right? Here's your join packet. So you know, when you're making your list of people, you want to take it to the next level. Here's how I take it to the next level. Make your list and then determine a number that you want to actually give something to somebody, okay? Put it in your purse, put it in your car. You know, maybe it's one join packet a week. Maybe you just want to say, this week, I'm going to find one person when I'm out and about, okay, at a drive-through, at a waitress at a restaurant, the mom standing behind me at Walmart, whatever, okay, and say, I'm going to keep this join packet in my purse. And I'm just going to give that person a compliment. And I'm going to say, this is why I think you'd be great for this. I don't know if you have a consultant. Maybe you do. If you don't, I would like to work with you. You know, don't steal anybody. We ain't that kind of business, right? But just say, I think you'd be really, really great for this. And if you're not already working with somebody, you know, I would love to talk to you about it. I'd love to buy you coffee one day and chat about it, you know, or get some donuts or something and just talk about it one morning after the kids go to school. And then they're just like, oh, like what a nice thing to do, you know, but don't remember what I said earlier. Don't just leave them with the packet. Say, I don't like to give samples with my packet. I like to say to people when I'm out in public, like, I would like to send you some scents of your favorite types of fragrances. Can I have your address? I promise I'm not crazy. I'm just a mom. I'm a crazy mom sometimes, but just a mom. I'm not a psycho. But if you want to give me your address, or here's my number, text me your address and I'll pop some samples in the mail. What do you like? Do you like bakery scents? Do you like fruity scents? Like, what do you like? And then just pick like 3 different fragrances and send it to them. Okay. Now you have their contact information. Now you can follow up. Remember, the ball's in your court. Okay. And now you're putting in front of them what you know they'll like. Okay. I hate bakery scents. I hate them. Cincy makes them great. I'm sorry, Amy, I hate them. Blueberry cheesecake makes me gag. I don't like them. Like, I just don't like them. It's not my jam. But I can recognize that Cincy does them really well. Okay, I sell a lot of them. They're great for what they are. It's not my jam. I'm a fruity lover. Give me all the strawberry and all the lemon and all of that all day long. But if you put vanilla in it, you might as well give it to somebody else. I don't like it. Okay. So if somebody gave me a bakery scent, I would probably be like, oh yeah, great. Thanks for the free sample that I'll throw in the trash. Right. But if somebody says to me, what kind of scents do you like? I want to make sure I give you something that you'll love. Give me your address so I can send them to you. Totally different ball game, right? Now you have their information. Now you can follow up. Now you can send them samples. You can make sure that they get stuff that they love. Okay. Something else that I wrote down on here when Denise was talking, and it made me think of Heidi. Heidi's on my team. She's my frontline. I met her in 2020 doing Facebook bingo because we were all stuck at home. And she did, her party was over 500. It was like well over 500. It was like 650, 700, something like that. Okay, well over 500. I'm like, girl, you've got to join. Let's flip this. This is the commission you'll get. Like, you've got all these customers. And she's just like, no, can't do it. Can't do it, won't do it. And I mean, I tried, you guys. Like, I really tried. And so I was just like, okay. And like, you can just be a great customer. That's fine. Less than a month later, she called me and she said, can I still get that $0 kit? And I was like, oh, changed your mind, did we? I'm like, what changed your mind? And she's like, well, these people want more Scentsy. She's like, they're coming to me and they're saying that they want more. It's only been a month. And I'm like, it's a necessity. It's actually a necessity. Did you not know? Like, people actually need Scentsy. Like, they actually need it. And so she was like, well, now I have to join. Right. I mean, it was only a month later, you guys. So don't think that you're hounding people. And I didn't go to her. She came to me. She's just like, what do I do with all these people that want to order again? And I'm just like, well, I think you probably should think about joining. I'm like, I mean, I can take your orders if you want to give me your money and, whatever, but I would rather you keep your money, and when you phrase it to them like that, people don't like to lose money. People love couponing, when I go to Kroger and they say any coupons today, I hate it if I have to tell them no, right? Because I feel like I'm losing out on something, right? And so when you say to them, like, I mean, I can keep your money, but I'd rather you keep your money. And they're, then they're just like, oh, like, well, that's one that shows that you're honest, right? It shows some integrity on your part because you want to help them. You're not thinking about you anymore. You're thinking about them, which is really Scentsy spirit. That's what we're all about, right? And so yeah, so that's the little story about Heidi. And she's still here, selling Scentsy, doing her thing, right? But she told me no. But I planted the seed. And then she started thinking about it when people were like, oh, I really like that. I need more. And she's just like, what do I do with this? Guess I should join, right? Any other stories?
So Jeanette, it was today that we were talking about that, and that made me think of this. When you guys write that down and write those people's names down in your notebook that you've talked to, make a note of what they say. And what Jeanette was talking about was, I have a customer that I had sent a text to about, I can't even remember what I sent the text about, but when I sent the photo, it had the Easter gnome. He's back there somewhere. It had the Easter gnome and he wasn't even on sale yet. And she said, hey, tell me about that gnome. And she said, is that a warmer? So she bought the gnome. Then I sent a text out, and you guys know how long the gnome's been out. So then I sent a text out about, what went today? Dumbo. And she goes, oh, I have to have that. And when I sent her the text about Dumbo, she said, you're killing me here. Then today we find out about the castle, and she loves all things Disney. And I've asked her many times to join my team. So I sent her a text today and I said, I know that you said I'm killing you here. I said, but I have to show you this. And I sent her the castle. And she said, oh my gosh. And I said, this is why I'm telling you, you should just join. I said, because look how much you've just spent in the last week. You could be getting a rebate back on your purchases. You guys, she's told me no, I cannot tell you how many times. But when I changed my wording and I said, you could be getting a rebate, she was like, now I think we need to talk. And so I had Marco Polo Jeannette about something, and I said, I'm not doing my job. I've been after her for a year now. And that's when Jeannette was like, no, I think that so many people have misconceptions about direct sales. So when they say no, it doesn't mean no. It just means not now. And you just have to do your job to figure out what it is that you can say to them that shows them they need this. Make it about them. So that was one thing I wanted to say. And then I wanted to ask Valerie. Back here in the comments, she said that Denise wouldn't stop asking her. Where I can't find it now. Anyway, Valerie, I want to know.
I told her no, but she didn't stop.
Yeah. So Valerie, did that make you mad that she didn't stop asking you?
Great question.
No, not at all. Because I told her I didn't have time because I work full time. And she told me I could do it part-time. She had an answer for every no. So
That's why you do it. Yes. Sorry, that just made me really excited because that's how you do it.
I mean, again, nobody ever asked me. I'm not good with sales, believe it or not. I just believe in the product, and if you got a good product and people trust me, I stand behind this, and I tell them that all the time because, I mean, you couldn't give me something else and have me to sell and believe in it if I haven't used it as much as I have Scentsy. I mean, I spend a lot of money on Scentsy. When I say a lot of money, she refused. She said, I'm not taking another order from you. I was like, what? What? I'm not taking another order from you. She told me that. And then I have to do my friend Cindy. I believe Cindy is in here. Cindy, you in here? I told her the same thing. Look, we got to make this money. You need to join. She said, okay.
And it's like that for anything. It's the delivery sometimes, and it's not just with recruiting. It's even with sales. I went on and told my team this earlier this week because I sent out like an email and I sent out a mass text to all of my people telling them about the clearance section. Everybody knows that the clearance section is hopping right now, right? Please shake your head. Yes, yes, yes. You're paying attention. Okay, good. But I sent that out and I'm just like, where's everybody at? Like nobody's ordering anything, which is not like my customers. Usually people are like jumping on that stuff. And I'm just like, what is going on? And so it just really surprised me. But then I made that post that's been floating around, right? That says up to 60% off, help me clean out the warehouse, look at my comments, right? And I started putting those pictures in the comments and I sold like $500 in like 3 hours. Okay. And it's so crazy because I already told my customers about it. Okay. So I could have literally just been like,
I'll listen to y'all.
Whatever. I quit. I give up. Like, I can't sell this. Like I literally could have just like been like, well, I tried and just forgot about it. But I was like, no, I'm not taking that for an answer because I'm just not taking it for an answer. No reason. I'm just not taking it for an answer. I want my PRV, right? And so I was like, what can I do differently, right? What's my delivery, And if something's not working, and I'm not just talking for like, I asked one person and they told me no, right? Like I'm talking like a lot of people and it's still not working, then you maybe go to your director, right? And say, like, where's my disconnect here? Because I have a list, I can prove that I've asked people, right? I'm not just thinking that I am. Because that's where I was, guys. I thought that I was asking. But when I started writing down those names, I was asking, but I wasn't asking. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I had a couple people on there, but I wasn't really like committed to it. It's easy to commit to the sales because that's the easy part, right? The hard part is, making excuses. Oh, I don't want to give up my PRV. I don't want to lose a good host. Sometimes we just like to control it. Sometimes we know that we can control ourselves, but we can't control our downline. So sometimes that holds us back. So whatever the fear is, yeah, you're shaking your head. Yes. Arlena, did I say your name right? I'm sorry if I didn't. A little, no. Okay. Sorry. I love you. But like you have to figure out where your fear lies. Okay. Because we make excuses when we're fearful of something. Okay. So if you're saying, I don't want to lose my PRV, then what's your fear? Your fear is you're not going to find people to replace the PRV. Okay. So focus on that. Okay. And, if you're saying, I can't, my sister's my best customer, but I can't recruit her because she's going to steal all of my family. There's the fear. Okay. What are you going to do to overcome the fear? You're not going to not recruit your sister because she deserves this opportunity too. Okay. You have to figure out what you're going to do to move past your fear. Okay. Anything else? I don't think I have anything else on my list.
I have a story.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I have a
No, go ahead.
story. Right along the line of recruiting. Y'all don't laugh. Valerie, don't laugh. So yesterday, her and I did an event together. Her first event ever. We were at a school here in Austin that's called Ann Richards. For those of you, that's used to be a governor, and she donated the school, and it was for high achieving girls. And you have to, hey, is that Cindy? Hi, Cindy. She's from Huntsville.
Hello, how you doing?
She's from Huntsville, Alabama. She's one of Valerie's new recruits. Hit shooting star in 5 days.
Hello, everyone.
Anyway, we were at this event yesterday, and unfortunately, it was all the, what are those people called? Not the cheerleaders, the ones that do the flags. What's that called?
The flag.
Yeah, the
What
flag.
they call them, the flag girls.
Yeah, the color guard.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, there was people from all over the state of Texas, but these girls came by themselves without their parents, and there's very few parents there. And so, we started out pretty slow, and here I am going, oh gosh, it's Valerie's first event. She's going to be so discouraged. She was ready. She had her cards, her join package. She got everything. Well, about halfway through it, we had several girls, because they were all high achievers and wanting to be entrepreneurs, et cetera, that would come to the table and just keep asking us questions. And I'm sitting there going, oh Lord, girls, could you just go away and go do your flags, because you're wearing me out? Well, this one particular girl, I can't remember her name, but she started at the end of the table and went all the way to the other end and asked about every single product on there. And
Jada.
Valerie, huh?
Jada.
What? Yeah, oh, Jada. See, she knew her name. And she asked her a question, and Valerie stayed with her through the whole thing. Other people came up. I helped her every single question. She already kept saying, I don't have any money. I'm not buying anything. So Valerie knew she wouldn't buy anything. She just went through, and I'm sitting there going, oh, Lord, have mercy. By the time she gets into the table, and this girl was really powerful, her presentation, everything, Valerie says, you know what, girl, you need to be doing this business. You just got to be doing this business. You've learned so much in 20 minutes. And she goes, well, I'm only 16. And I'm sitting there going, oh, Valerie, they have to be 18 to join. I didn't say that out loud. I didn't burst her bubble. I was just, well, little did I know that Valerie already knew that. And so she goes, that's all right. You're going to go home. Give me your phone number. You're going to call your mom. We're going to get your mom in the business. And then we're going to have you help your mom. And I was like, boy, what a way to flip that. I mean, I was ready to say, go on home, go dance, and here's Valerie over here going, we're going to check in with your mom. And then this little girl started recruiting. She went and got friends and brought the friend to the table. Here, you need to listen to Miss Valerie. So then I would give her a little scent circle. Here, how many did I give her? 3? She brought 3 people to the table to meet Valerie, to hear about Scentsy. And I'm sitting here going, and she got phone numbers and names from all of them, like to reach out to the parents. I was like, talk
And
about
you know what I hear when I say that? Like, you don't know what that home life is like. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, this is the mom coming out in me. You don't know what that
Hey,
home
Denise.
life is like. What a
Yeah.
great opportunity for that mom and daughter. Like, I mean, who knows what's going on, but what a great thing for them to do together, to bring them close together.
Who said, hey,
I think
Denise?
that's awesome.
This is Carrie Lawson. Hey, Amy, Marc-Charles.
Hey,
How about this? How about this?
Hi,
is the thing called I
Carrie.
Go Home.
how are you? That was she's
She muted herself again. I'm glad you're on, Carrie. You guys, I'm pumped just listening to your stories because I think that when we're excited about what Scentsy has done for us and when we talk about how much we love it, then it's just easy to talk about it. So I love hearing, especially like those of you guys who are coming on new, you're excited and you're just telling people, and this is the natural result of that. So that is really, really, really great. I want to wrap up in like 2 minutes. Does anybody have a question for Jeannette or anybody else? Want to share a story? Okay.
I can do a quick. I was
Denise told all my business. I'm done.
What were you, Sarah Lana?
Oh, well, so I asked Samantha if she was jumping on tonight, but she was closing work and I only jumped on because I had a migraine and had to cancel work. But she wrote to me the very end of February because we're talking about the Hogwarts stuff at the time. And she wrote, P.S. Thank you for getting me involved in Scentsy. I can't remember how many times you offered and I kept saying no.
Who is this?
So I said, Samantha.
Oh,
Yeah,
and she's doing amazing.
Yes. And so I was like, you're so welcome. So glad it's bringing so much happiness. She's like, I'm loving it. I love the new challenge. And I said, how stocked is your house? She said, we don't discuss the bookcase.
That's so great.
So, but anyway, so I just thought a quick feel good.
And see, there's another example of, they didn't get sick of that being asked, right? The people that are going to get sick of being asked are the people that you haven't built a relationship with. When you're cold calling people or, I'm not gonna, you're not just gonna ask the waitress every single Sunday after church that you go in and sit at the table and order, unless you're building a relationship with her, right? You're not just gonna sit there and only ask her week after week after week, will you join Scentsy, will you join Scentsy, will you join Scentsy, right? You're gonna get to know her a little bit. If you're sitting at her table every single week and you're, talking about her kids or saying, what are you going to do this week? And those kinds of things, then you can ask, repetitively. You can sense it, right? You can sense it when, you're treading the line. But yeah, we heard two examples tonight of people, because I think we do that too. We say, well, I already asked her, so I can't ask her again. Not true. Not true. We've heard a lot of examples tonight where, you've planted the seed and you got to go back, because here's the thing. If you don't go back and ask, somebody else is gonna. And I would think that you would rather them say yes to you and not somebody else. That's happened to me. That has happened to me. It doesn't happen so much anymore because I've learned something over 11 years that I don't get, that you don't give up. But in my early years, I can think of a few people right off the top of my head that I asked and they said no, and I quit. I just stopped trying. And then they ended up joining under somebody else. So all those examples tonight, let that empower you. Keep asking.
This was a great call. Jeannette, thank you so much for taking an hour of your Monday night to come talk to our group. We appreciate it so much. I know, I have notes. I feel a little inspired to work a little harder, try a little more, do things I haven't done before. So thank you so much. A couple of announcements. If you have to hop off, Jeannette, I understand, but a couple of announcements for everybody. I have 2 dates I need you to write down. One, this Wednesday night, the 9th, we have a company-wide booking blitz. Now, you're like, ew, booking blitz, or you're like, what the heck is a booking blitz? Let me tell you, every time that I participate in a booking blitz, I get parties on my calendar. Nobody's saying what kind of party. It could be a basket party. It could be a Facebook party. It could be a text party. It could be like a, hey, I'm going to drop off testers at your vet's office. Let everybody who's up there smell it. And, I'm going to pick it up next week. It's like that. Okay. But every single time that I participate, I get at least something on my calendar. So since he's actually encouraging us to have one. Now, I was a little personally confused about whether Scentsy was going to have a big one for us to participate in or not. I am confirming tonight with a group that we get with. We're trying to get with them the second Wednesday of every month. Our best practices group on Facebook. There's a group of Superstar directors and all of us have come together. So I will be emailing everybody tomorrow or Wednesday with information about that. You'll get my group recognition email. So look for that email from me. That's announcements and shout outs. And if you don't hear from me, then talk to your director if you don't get my email. But I will confirm if we're doing it over on a Zoom or how we're participating, but just plan for that. Okay. Wednesday.
What time?
I think 7 p.m. Central Time. That's the time that we usually do the best practices Zoom with them. 7 p.m. Central Time. I know there's never a perfect time for everybody, but that's the time if we're doing it with them. If we're not, then we're doing it with Sensi, but I don't think, my directors, can you confirm? Like, I don't think that they are doing a big one.
I think I read it, and I think I heard them talking that they're wanting it done all, that night, but we're all supposed to
Okay.
organize it,
Yeah,
with
okay.
your group or whatever.
So
That's
I'm
what
gonna-
I heard.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll confirm and I'll get that
Amy,
information
can
to you guys.
For new people, can you just explain real quick what that means, what that consists of real quick?
Yeah, so what it is we're just all gonna gather together and we are going, so have your contacts, have your customers' names, have your friends, have your, have your address book or your phone or whatever nearby, have a notebook, and basically everybody's just, and I think if I'm doing it, we'll get on a Zoom again and we will just be chatting and sharing wording ideas for things that you can say to book a party. And then we'll all just sit there, whether you're on your computer or your phone, and we're just going to contact our contacts and say, hey, there's a bunch of new spring summer scents. We're going to give you the wording and then you're going to do it. And we're going to see who can book the most parties for the rest of this month and maybe for April. But that's what we're going to do. And I'm telling you, I think you're going to get some dates on your calendar whenever you do that. So if you cannot participate Wednesday, then what I suggest is make an appointment for yourself, with yourself, for 1 hour sometime this week to just do that. Because when we do that, you're going to get some yeses. You're going to get some people who say no, thank you, but you're going to get some people who say yes every time. Okay, the second date is SFR. As of right now, is happening since he is full steam ahead. Registration opens the 15th. We don't have a price yet, but it's Salt Lake City. It's June 23rd through 25th. So we're planning on going, and registration is going to open before I see you guys next for our group Zoom. So I wanted to make sure you had that date. Our group always has a big group event while we're there. We will hopefully make some group shirts. I haven't done it in a couple of years, so I'm rusty, but we'll maybe make some group shirts. And if you don't know anybody, you will know somebody. We have a group on Facebook too, where we'll chat and you can say, I'm registered, but I don't have a roommate, or I'm registered, I don't know anybody. Like, when are you arriving? And we'll chat. Okay. So if you have any questions, get with your sponsor, get with your director. We would love for you to come to SFR, Cincy Family Reunion. It's our annual, I'm talking so fast, but I don't want to go too far over on time, but it's our annual convention. Raise your hand if you know you're going already. Anybody?
Cindy, raise your hand.
All right. All right. I know they're going to have part of it virtually. They're not going to do the whole thing virtually. So there will be that too. So there's only one booking blitz. If Cincy's doing one, then we would do it with them. But I think that we're going to do it on the best practices Facebook group. There will be a Zoom link. Okay. So if you're not in the best practices group, look up, should I type it in here real quick, you guys? Let me get on here before we hop off. I forgot to stop recording. If you're watching the recording, you don't have to keep going. You can stop here. Well, I guess you might want to watch this by then. Okay. Best practices, copy. I'm putting it in
Arlena,
the
did
chat.
you say you were going to SFR?
There's no way I'm gonna afford it.
Oh,
The flights are like all 1,500 right now. Like to come
from Canada.
Yeah, and it's like I have to take a minimum of 2 flights, and with adjusting my main practice of work right now, I'm leaning on Cincy as more of an income right now, which has been good, but not enough to set aside what I would need for the trip, unfortunately.
Jess, are you shaking your head no? Miss SFR herself?
Yeah, I'm not going.
And it lands on my husband's birthday.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. It would be hard to miss. But
Oh, I'm heartbroken because my goal from last year was to make it work this year. And if I didn't have to like take a 50% income in my real job, it would have been a thing.
so her goal is to make more money with Scentsy,
2023 now, because that's, yeah.
be able to afford to come and not
Yeah.
have to
You'll
miss.
do it.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, drawing. I did a drawing. Well, I knew I would forget. See, and I did it while Jeannette. That's a salad dressing recipe. I used random.org. There were 17, and the fifth person on my screen was the winner, number 5, and the fifth person was actually Valerie, who has just been spotlighted so much, but she deserves some love. She's been doing great. So anyway, Valerie, I am going to send you something in the mail this week. So thanks for getting on, Val. Thanks everybody for joining us. This was such a good call. I hope you have notes in front of you and you spend some time going through and adding some names to your list. And we will hopefully see you guys on Wednesday for a booking blitz. And the information is coming. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.